For every swing, every moment, the Milwaukee Brewers fight. It's not just about hitting the ball, it's about leaving a legacy.
Hey, Brew Crew! Welcome back to our channel, your go-to source for the most in-depth analysis and exclusive insights on our Milwaukee Brewers. I'm your host, bringing you the heat directly from baseball's most reliable sources. Before we dive into what was, without a doubt, one of the most electrifying weekends in recent franchise history, I need to ask you a favor. If you value this daily coverage, this detailed breakdown that goes beyond the box scores and into the strategy and heart of the team, please hit that subscribe button below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Every new member of our community strengthens the channel and allows me to keep bringing this exclusive content to you, the best fan base in the MLB. Thank you so much for the support. Now, let's get down to business. I completely understand the frustration that washed over our fan base last Thursday. The trade deadline came and went, and while our rivals seemed to be loading up, the Brewers remained noticeably quiet. It felt like a missed opportunity, a sense that perhaps the front office didn't believe in this roster's potential as much as we do. A cloud of skepticism and disappointment was hanging over Milwaukee. Many, and rightly so, felt the team needed that extra push, that one impact piece to solidify our World Series aspirations. The front office's inaction was a splash of cold water, and doubts began to creep in. Do we have enough offensive firepower? Does our roster have the depth to withstand the grind of a long season and an even more grueling postseason? The questions were valid, and the anxiety was palpable. And then the weekend happened. And in 72 glorious hours in Washington, this team didn't just answer every question. They did so with a deafening war cry that echoed throughout the National League. What we witnessed against the Nationals wasn't just a series win, it was a statement. It was the performance of a team that looked at the external and internal skepticism and decided to annihilate it one hit at a time. What happened in Washington was the most dominant display of offensive force in the long history of the Milwaukee Brewers. Forget the trade deadline. What this team did on the field was more impactful than any acquisition could have been at that moment. They reminded us of a fundamental truth: the biggest reinforcement can come from within. Let's get to the numbers because they tell a staggering story. 56 hits in a 3-game series. That's a new franchise record. Think about that. In over 50 years of history, with all the great sluggers who have worn this uniform, no Brewers team has ever been so relentless over a 3-game stretch. They put over 70 runners on base. It wasn't just about getting hits. It was about constant, tireless pressure that suffocated the opponent from the first pitch on Friday to the final out on Sunday. And for those who are quick to dismiss the feat by saying, "Oh, but it was against the Nationals," they're not good. I say, hogwash. That's disrespectful to the level of competition in Major League Baseball. Yes, Washington is in a rebuilding phase, but they are professional ball players. You don't just walk onto a field and rack up 56 hits by accident. You do it through flawless execution, a disciplined approach at the plate, and a predatory mindset. The Brewers didn't just beat an inferior team, they dismantled it with surgical precision, like a shark that smells blood in the water. They capitalized on every mistake, every wild pitch, every passed ball. They gave them no room to breathe. And the most impressive part of it all? They did it while adversity was knocking forcefully at their door. Each day, a new piece of bad news seemed to test this group's resilience. On Friday, we got the update that Jackson Chorio's injury could be more serious, keeping him out longer than initially anticipated. On Saturday, Sal Frelick, one of our sparks of energy, leaves the game with knee soreness. A fan's heart skips a beat. And to top it off, on Sunday morning, the bombshell news. Jacob Misiorowski, our young phenom on the mound, is placed on the injured list with a shin contusion. Another blow. At a time when we needed all our strength, we seem to be losing crucial pieces by the hour. This is where the true identity of this team, molded by manager Pat Murphy, reveals itself. The next man up philosophy isn't just a cliche for this team, it's a way of life. Look at the story of Logan Henderson. With Miz going down, he gets the last-minute call-up. There are no flights available in time. What does he do? He gets in a car with his father and stepmother and drives 4 hours to Washington, D.C. He arrives, takes the mound in a crucial series-sweeping game, and delivers a solid performance to guide us to victory. That's hard. That's commitment. Or think about Brandon Lockridge, a player who arrived almost as a footnote in the Ricardo Cortez trade. Pat Murphy doesn't hesitate. With the injuries, he plugs him into the leadoff spot. And what does Lockridge do? He produces all weekend, serving as a catalyst at the top of the order. These are the stories that define a championship team. It's not the big stars doing what's expected, but the role players, the unexpected guys who refuse to let the standard drop. They are winning games with one arm tied behind their backs, proving that the whole is indeed greater than the sum of its parts. The resilience shown this weekend was something that I, as a fan who has followed this franchise from its early days, have rarely seen. In 1982, 1987, or in the 2000s, I never witnessed a team face so many real-time setbacks and respond with such authority. They aren't just overcoming, they are thriving in the chaos. And that, my friends, is what makes me believe that we should never doubt this team. Let's go a bit deeper into the situation with our players and what these moves mean for the immediate future. Detailed analysis is what sets us apart. So let's dissect the impact of each piece in this puzzle, starting with the injuries, which are undoubtedly our biggest concern right now. Jacob Misiorowski's situation, while alarming at first glance, might have a strategic silver lining. My sources indicate the shin contusion is real, a result of a comebacker he took against the Cubs. However, the truth is that the front office was already looking for a way to manage his workload. Miz is on an innings pace he has never experienced as a professional. Placing him on the IL for 2 or 3 starts is an organic way to give him a necessary breather, preserving his arm for the final stretch in September and hopefully for October. It's a smart play disguised as misfortune. It's not a panic alarm, it's calculated asset management. Jackson Chorio's situation, on the other hand, is much murkier and frankly more concerning. I said last week that the hamstring spasm story felt strange. Spasms are one thing. The way manager Pat Murphy avoided giving details and the vague timelines he offered could be longer than a month suggests there's more to it. The organization is being tight-lipped, and that's their right. But for us as analysts and fans, it raises a red flag. Chorio is a generational talent, a centerpiece of our offense and defense. We can win games without him in the short term, as we proved this weekend. But to get where we really want to go, the World Series, we need a healthy and productive Jackson Chourio in the heart of the lineup. His prolonged absence would be a devastating blow to our ultimate aspirations. We will monitor this closely, but the lack of clarity is in itself a cause for apprehension. While we deal with the losses, it's crucial to celebrate the heroes who have emerged. The offense this weekend was not the work of one man, it was a symphony of collective production. Joey Ortiz, a player some of the fan base wanted off the team back in May, was a monster, 6 for 14 with 3 doubles and 6 RBIs. Bryce Turang had his first 2 homer games since high school. Andrew Vaughn, 6 hits. Isaac Collins continues to play like a Rookie of the Year candidate, solid on defense and always finding a way to get on base. And of course, we need to talk about Christian Yelich. For a long time, critics wondered if we would ever see the 2018 MVP again. This weekend, he silenced them all. 7 hits in 13 at-bats, a home run, 6 runs scored, and 5 walks. He was on base 12 times. This is the Christian Yelich we need, the pillar in the middle of the order, the player who elevates the entire offense around him. His performance wasn't just good, it was dominant. And having Yelich in peak form completely changes the ceiling of this team. Another point that deserves the spotlight is the triumphant return of Brandon Woodruff. What a story of perseverance. After a surgery that could have ended his career, he went through an arduous rehab, faced setbacks, and has come back better than ever. In 5 starts since his return, he has a 3-0 record with a 2.22 ERA. His velocity is back, touching 96 mph on Saturday. He is pitching like the ace we know he is. The question about his future as a free agent is a conversation for another day. Today we celebrate the fact that we have one of the best pitchers in the league back at the top of our rotation, making our already formidable pitching staff even more daunting. Looking ahead, the series against the Atlanta Braves begins today. They may have a sub .500 record, 47-63, But make no mistake, this is a talented team that can bite you if you're not focused. The pitching matchups are interesting. Quinn Priester against Eric Fedor, Freddie Peralta against the lefty Wentz, and Jose Quintana against the powerful Spencer Strider in the series finale. After the show of force in Washington, the expectation has shifted. We are no longer just hoping to win the series. The mindset now is that we should dominate. Winning 2 out of 3 is the minimum. A sweep is the goal. This Brewers team proved it can be relentless, and that's exactly the mentality they need to carry into Atlanta and for the rest of the season. The promotion of our top 2 prospects, Jason Chourio and Luis Lara, to High A Wisconsin is also an important signal. It shows that even with the focus on winning now, the organization hasn't mortgaged the future, refusing to trade them and continuing their development. To recap the main news, on a weekend that began with doubts about the front office's commitment, the players on the field gave an emphatic answer. They not only won, but they set a historic offensive record for the franchise, overcame a cascade of real-time injuries, and solidified their identity as a resilient, deep, and dangerously focused team. The message to the rest of the league was clear. We don't need outside help. We have what we need right here, right now. Now, I want to hear from you, the Brew Crew. Did this historic performance against the Nationals change your perspective on this team's ability to compete in the postseason? Does the lack of a major trade at the deadline still worry you? Or did this weekend prove that we have all the pieces necessary to make a deep run in October? Leave your comments below. I want to know what every single one of you thinks. And once again, if you're a true Brewers fan and want to stay ahead of the news with analysis that goes deep, subscribe to the channel for fast updates and in-depth coverage. I'm your host, and I'll see you in the next video. Go Brewers!